Hi everyone, it's MaxBen34 or Ben, and here to do the quick Q&A. By the way, it's not going to be quick. You guys asked a lot of questions. I'm going to cut it off now because it's been a few hours. It's now 12 a.m. So I'm going to cut it off and go through it one by one and answer as many as possible. So Mad Panda said, "Why do you constantly deny the fact that some of your nerfs are bad? All the server says they're bad when we want something nerfed. You nerf the wrong thing, you make MCI so unbalanced, and it's no longer the same game." Well, to start off, I'm sorry you feel that way. And so the process of nerfs as a whole is basically pretty simple. We see something that affects the game poorly, and we figure out the best way to make a change to it. Now, there's a few ways you can go about nerfing something, right? You can make other things stronger. You can make the thing itself weaker. You can add counters for it. Most of the time, we make the thing itself weaker. So in the case of a bunch of nerfs, we try to consider how the community is going to feel about the nerf itself. Obviously, you can't make everyone happy. So I'll take an example, the Firemind nerf. To me, and to the balance of the game itself, I believe it was extremely necessary. But of course, that doesn't mean everyone's going to be happy about it, because people like when things are overpowered, and when you make something not overpowered anymore, then, well, people don't want to use it, and then they're upset because they spent their money on it. So, or their in-game money on it, rather. So yeah, that's how that works, and most of the time we do our best to make the best nerfs possible. We see when things are not working, and we try to increase balance. So at the end of the day, balance is what we're looking for, and sometimes in order to achieve that balance, we have to make decisions that won't necessarily make people happy, and that's just part of it. That's how it works. We don't like doing it, but we don't have much of a choice. And at the same time, we buff things as well. You know, things when they aren't strong enough, Iron Golem, we redesign them, we make them better. Better than not doing anything, so I guess that's kind of how we handled that sort of situation. So on to the next one. And by the way, if any of these questions I'm not answering well, let me know and I'll try to redo them. Yeah. From Internet Cable. How do you imagine all of the game modes on the server in 1 year? Current and future ones. Okay, so I'm thinking you're meaning player count and the games themselves. Project Mayhem has a very good, bright, big future ahead of it. I know that it doesn't necessarily seem that way at this very moment. However, I can assure you it really does. We have a lot of plans coming up in the future to change a bunch of things. I personally believe in about a year, we can see some really nice changes on MC Infected. We could potentially see some big growth in game modes like Time is Money Factions, hopefully Search and Destroy, potentially some new updates out for Fear SG, some new updates out for Mayhem Mania, as well as a rename for it to just Mixed Arcade. Probably also some changes made to Arsenal. Nothing big, just a few things here and there. Along with additional balance and bug fixes everywhere across the board. And then some other things for Agar.io, because Agar.io is one of our most played games, and we want to have people experience new things on it all the time. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. I think that overall, the ideas that we have and the things that we've been doing over the past few days is giving me more and more hope for a bright future of the server, and I'll get more into that later with some of these other questions that are going to come up. And I think that over the next year you'll see some pretty nice growth, and I'm excited for it. Okay, so for the next question was from Pokemaniac. Do you plan on replacing the mods that left recently? Okay, so there's a few questions, but I'll start with that one. Yes. When will we be getting a Mayhem Mania update? When we make it, there's many different things we can do. There's many different options for what our next project can be. Definitely a remake, not necessarily a remake, but a complete redesign of the game mode itself is definitely on our priority list, because I think it has a lot of potential, and I think that if we did the right things with it, it could turn out really nicely. So it's up there. I can't say any time, date, whatever, because every time we finish something new, then another thing gets put on top of that list that was never even on the list to begin with. So it depends, but ideally soon. Hopefully that's a good enough answer. Sorry it's not as exact as I'd like it to be, but the answer is really like when we feel it's in the best interest of the server to do that. And I think it is, but there's also other things that are also in the best interest of the server to do. So we want to focus on those things and make sure that we get everything together before we make any big changes to a game mode that will consume a lot of our time. And the last one is rhetorical. Will mods ever stop trolling on the build server? I don't know. We spoke to the mods today. We've been holding daily staff meetings at 7 p.m. on Saturdays. Sorry, weekly staff meetings at 7 p.m. on Saturdays. Daily staff meetings would be bad. No, not doing that. But yeah, weekly ones, 7 p.m. Saturdays, my time, EST. We discussed that slightly there. Trolling build server, not good. So if you guys feel like they're trolling, let us know. And they shouldn't be. For the most part, like, it's just like people like running around back and forth, and they're not trying to disrupt you. So just know that. Anyways, from the stale PvP, is there any way to get a staff application removed or deleted because the person who made it doesn't want to have it there? I mean, yeah, but the real answer is there isn't really much of a need for it. If you really want it removed or deleted, you can probably report the post or PM a mod. However, you don't need to worry about it. I mean, if you don't want your application to exist, that's a different story. But if you want it removed for some sort of other reason or whatever, then or edited, whatever you want with that, there's no good need for that really. I'd say the applications don't get denied, and they can only be accepted, so it can't hurt to have it out there unless you want to make a new one, in which case either edit it, because that's fine too, or just ask a mod. Iron Pastor asked, do you intend to hire more coders to help grow the server and what it has to offer rapidly, or are you more focused on trying to get advertising up first? I'd say that both of the things are definitely important. I'd say that advertising is more important because Jackson does a great job as is when it comes to the development portion of the server. Both are really difficult. Finding a developer that I trust and finding a developer that does the work that I require is a harder task than you'd imagine. Same with advertising. It's hard getting in contact with people. It's hard getting them to follow through. It's hard finding people that are really truly interested and aren't just doing it for the money. And it's hard to, truly have effective advertising. And it's something that we're always looking towards and trying to make happen. So in both respects, yes, we try our best, and I can't tell you which one will happen first. I mean, I don't see any point in hiring a new developer unless we have a reason to have a new developer. Right now, I think Jackson does a good job, a great job. Puts a lot of time into everything he does, and I'd say that we could potentially have a new developer in the future, but only under the circumstances that we have a project that would require one. As of right now, and as of in the past, we haven't, but that might change. So if you see or hear of a new developer being on board, then that probably means we have some cool stuff coming. Either way, we have cool stuff coming, but like a really big project. Am I focused on trying to get advertising up first? I don't know if I answered that too well, but yes, advertising is a focus. For example, I sent out an email today to over 100 YouTubers about stuff and for Search and Destroy. Okay, so what do I look to accomplish at Minecon 2016 for Project Mayhem? Well, I hope to have fun with any people that actually play Project Mayhem aside from the staff, so I'll be there with Jackson for sure. Soup and Kendi will probably be there, along with other staff members, I'd imagine. Hopefully some players show up, we can have fun, hang out. Besides that, just like last year when we went to Minecon, we plan on doing some basic advertising, handing out business cards, etc. T-shirts again. I'll make sure that system goes way more smoothly. Anyone that purchased a T-shirt last time will also be getting a T-shirt for free that didn't receive theirs. So yeah. Aside from that, I mean, just have fun. It'll be a fun event, and we'll go to Disney. Cool. Wow, I'm already 10 minutes into this. Okay, this is gonna take some time. Do I know the Muffin Man? No, I don't even know where he lives. Sorry. Why? That was from Master AJ, by the way. Pistol Steven asked, "Why do you make ramen when you could make angel hair?" Because it's easy. I'm a college student. I don't got time for that. Also, I don't have angel hair. I just have ramen. But like, I keep it right next to my desk. You know, like whoop, ramen. But no, actually, like, I'm in college. Can't do some pots and pans. But yes, angel hair is better than spaghetti. So, yeah. From Jimmy, he said, "Why do you think because you're owner you can do everything like breaking the rules?" I don't, and I feel like if I broke the rules on a regular basis or really at all, that would give you guys reason to break the rules. So I do my best not to break the rules. But if there's a specific instance you're referring to, I'm more than happy to discuss that with you in private. Yeah. Pumpkin Warrior 2.0 says, "What's 9 plus 10 really?" 19. Alpace, is the Time is Money faction server map going to be reset? If so, can users keep their inventory in time? I do not have an answer. It's something that we've been considering. We have a corrupted chunk. If we are unable to fix the corrupted chunk, there's a possible chance that we will be resetting it. I will just say that if you guys want to reset, we're happy to do it. But in order for that to happen, we want to make some changes. Make it so like the updated version is like a new start, you know, to the server itself, advertising the whole 9 yards. So, yeah. Will you be adding new ranks back in, such as Trusted Member? This is from Jordan. Probably not. This existed like way back in the day before Project Mayhem actually was a thing, like with an actual like IP and community. But Trusted Member is like different. I feel like it wouldn't have the same result that we would have wanted in the past. So probably not to that one. And how many more EU staff do you plan on having? I'll put it this way. If a person fulfills what we're looking for in a staff member, which by the way is a question, so I'll answer that later. If a person fulfills those things, and they happen to be from Europe, then we have a new EU staff member. So yeah. But there's no like set number. We are happy to, whenever a player proves to us that they can take on the responsibilities that come with being a staff member, then they'll get the position and wherever they're located. I mean, obviously in some cases like it's better to have a certain staff member because we don't have enough people in a certain time zone, but other than that, like, yeah. Pinecone asks, "What's the deal with magnets?" I don't know. There's like a North Pole and a South Pole. They can like attract or like, you know, yeah. By magnets. Nitromaniac asks, oh, nope, that wasn't to me. Nope, now he asks, what's the deal with advertising for the new game mode? Do you have someone to do it yet? Are we just waiting for them to get time to come on? I'm tired of begging people to play Search and Destroy. So we have added a new statistics system to the server that only Jackson and I can see. I'll be using it in the future to like show you guys how the server's doing and stuff. I hope. Statistics show that Search and Destroy is a very promising game mode with the average time played on it per day by the people that are playing it being about 18 minutes, which to put into comparison is like Agario's is 13 minutes on average and MC Infected's is like 40. So our numbers are pretty good there. Means it holds players pretty well even though the player count's not that high. So in the future, as we do things, that'll go up even higher. Along with that and advertising, I think that the game mode can be pretty successful. As for the advertising itself, I did say that I was looking into YouTubers, and I will be getting emails back from them hopefully soon, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. Aside from that, it's possible that Jerome and Bajan will be recording soon. Who knows? I don't even know. So, possible. Ewald asked, how's life? Good, busy, lots of schoolwork, tons of exams. Have a math exam Wednesday. Calc. Yeah. Life. Tiga. Okay, this is a good one. Are you ever going to hire more developers? Because the current system you have makes it so Jackson will be the only developer, which limits how the server can grow. Jackson and I have discussed this. I answered this earlier as well, but yes, we will if we need to. I don't feel as if we need to, and neither does Jackson. It's a decision that is really more Jackson's decision, because if he feels like he can't handle the workload to the point where it's severely hurting us, then he'll let me know, and we will make the appropriate changes. So yeah, if necessary, definitely. But at this current point in time, we don't feel as if it's necessary. I feel like it's not a matter of the development we have, it's a matter of the advertising for what we have. I think we have a great server. I'm glad that every one of you are a part of it, and I overall think that with the right advertising, which obviously is not easy, especially for a minigame server of our size, things will go well. That's what I think. Why was Mattrick only paid $35 for Arsenal? Small games like Arsenal cost upwards of $200. I honestly don't remember how much I paid him for Arsenal. If Mattrick had a problem with payment, he would have asked me. I honestly couldn't tell you if it was $35 or if it was $200. I don't know. Him and I work on projects. Yeah, I don't have much of an answer to that. But yeah, him and I discuss that stuff in private, and that gets sorted out. Yeah. Why do you practically ignore the build team except when you need maps for new games? Builders build maps to be put into games, not to sit and rot on the build server. We only had like 3 map updates since the server released, and the only reason the last one happened was because I was pestering you about it. Map updates are really frustrating to put out. There's no easy way to put maps on a server. It takes a lot of time, energy, and resources. It's also not easy to have the maps built. We do plan on doing it whenever we update MC Infected next, which I have no time frame for that. It may happen soon, it may not. But I will say that like when a game mode needs new maps, we will try to be better in the future at making that happen, as well as implementing systems to make that easier. Along with that, I think the build team members, a lot's changed recently in the build team. It used to just be a thing, and now it's an actual team. Ever since Search and Destroy, they've been working really hard. Right now they're working on something really cool. I'm sure you guys will see it soon once it's completed. They just started it today. I'm excited, and I don't think they're sitting around and rotting anymore. We had a builder team meeting, the first one ever, earlier this week, and we had a good conversation, addressed all of their concerns, talked about a bunch of things, and yeah. So overall, I think that the build team and staff team have improved drastically over the past few days even, and that I think everyone's beginning to really put a lot of effort in, and I think you'll notice that over time. Yeah, okay. Agent 40 said, will there be more coders? I think I answered that. Also, will you ever start pre-testing game modes and make sure that all the bugs are fixed before people start playing the game mode? I feel like players who find bugs and have to go through the trouble to report them just get annoyed. So my real question is, will you ever have a bug testing team instead of using the mods to do it? 1 second. Most of the time, I feel like... I'm sorry. Okay, so most of the time, when we release new game modes, it depends on what's happening. Jackson tests things pretty well. It's important to know that like testing things with a lot of people is difficult. We don't want to give the ideas of a game mode away, and entrusting people to be part of that testing team that's not a builder or a staff member. Like for Search and Destroy, we invited the builders and the staff to test. Besides that, it's hard to trust anybody and not give any information away, honestly. That's the reason why it doesn't happen. When we do like a donor week of that, it's also good, except it's like, for our size as a server, it like kind of leaves out the regular players, and then when we release a game mode, they can't play it until after that beta's over, and by that time, the donors might be worn out and may not want to play the game mode as much because they already beta tested it. So overall, like, in a lot of cases, I feel like the overall beta testing process is difficult. We like to release game modes with as few bugs as possible, and I think we've gotten a lot better with how we've been dealing with handling bugs in the past, and definitely I think that it's becoming less and less of an issue as time goes on. Okay, Will you ever fix up the server voting websites to display the correct information for new players? Right now, all the voting websites display very outdated information. I can't update voting server websites. I have no access to them. The way it works is there's this plugin. It's called Votifier. When a person goes on a voting website, Votifier sends me information that they voted and what their name is. With that information, we have things that happen that give them different rewards and let us know that they voted. Besides that, that's all we know. So if a vote doesn't go through, not our fault. It's the voting server website. It's the voting website. So stinks, but that's kind of how it is. And last of all, will you ever make it so TeamSpeak isn't dead with the mods hiding away in your office or the staff room? A lot of the time, like today for example, we actually had important things to talk about. Yes, sometimes we're just playing around. However, we definitely realize that this is an issue and that definitely something that we want to work on. And I think over time you'll see that will end up happening and being a little bit better. Definitely, I've been trying to interact a lot more with you guys. I also have been really busy with school, but I'm doing my best. Yeah. Also, I'm done with school in like a few weeks, 3 weeks or so. So once I'm done with that, then I'll have time. Unless I'm getting an internship, which I don't know yet. Cool. So from Whack Attack, the important ones are in bold. I'm just going to try to speed through these. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. When will S&D be advertised? I answered that as soon as possible. Are you going to revamp Express? If so, will it be with Basin Hat? Him and I don't really talk very much. That's just because I don't know. He's pretty hard to get in contact with. Revamping Express, I don't know. I have no intention to build anytime soon, so maybe, but probably not. What's my favorite MCI map? That's a tough question. Express? No, but actually, I don't know. A lot of the maps are really nice, and I like Express, but that's because I made it. Favorite Search and Destroy map? I like Manor because it's like probably one of the most beautiful maps on the Search and Destroy server. But there's also like some that play better as well. I think that Pixels is fun. I think that Beanstalk is fun to play on sometimes. I like Purling. It depends. A lot of the maps are pretty cool. When will current junior mods be promoted, and when will new junior mods be chosen? I think I answered that. How do you plan on the server to start reaching its monthly donation goal again? Honestly, by lowering that goal or by giving you guys more incentives to donate, which we have some new things coming on their way. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge for crazies. Yeah. Get excited for that. Should happen soon. Pretty cool. Other than that, like, honestly, more players equals more donations, and that means more advertising, and that means more players, which equals more donations, which means more advertising. It's a repeating cycle. More cooler game modes we can put out for you guys and everything. So yeah, that's what happens. And I do think that as long as we have a good advertising plan set up, which is definitely something we're working on and trying to make happen across all the servers and everything, then we have nothing to worry about there. But yeah, I think I covered that pretty well. Do you plan on having different / new YouTubers advertise the server rather than just Jerome, Vicstar, and Preston? I threw Preston in there because he advertised a lot too. Hopefully. I like to get as many different YouTubers as possible. Gets different wide audiences. Again, it's not up to me though, it's up to them, and whatever happens, happens. So we'll see. And it's possible that YouTube advertising may not be what we do. Whatever works best for us is what we'll do, and we have these statistic systems that we created this week that will allow us to figure that out. So yeah, cool. Why do you think the server succeeded as much as it has so far? Because of you guys, I think, because of Jackson and I, and the fact that we have tried to make as much unique content as possible, and for you guys for supporting it, and us along the way, and the staff team for maintaining everything over time, really caring and trying hard. And I think that all of that together has been what's caused our success. I mean, we didn't expect the server to even be as popular as it is now, as popular as it's ever been, so I'm happy. Yeah. Um, what is your opinion on Library Addict rebooting the original Search and Destroy server after ours was going well? Well, if he's decided to reboot his because of ours, then I feel kind of flattered because that's pretty cool. However, honestly, I'm not concerned. It's cool, right? Like, he's making his own server. His will be different than ours, I'm sure. And we'll have cool things. He'll have cool things. We'll do our best to make sure ours are cooler. Other servers don't concern me. In my head, it's Project Mayhem. Always. If I focus on what other people are doing, then I'll just be trying to one-up other people. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make the best content for you guys, and we're trying to have the best and most fun time doing it for ourselves. So we're going to keep doing our thing, and we're not going to focus on what other people are doing, and we encourage you guys to do that as well. Yeah. Do I love Jackson? I don't know. Him and I have been friends for about 4 years now. Pretty long time over the internet. Met up before. He's a cool guy. He's a pretty good friend of mine. Yeah. Him and I have a lot of jokes. We talk a lot every day. He's a business partner as well. So yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. Put it that way. Lenny face. What is / will be your response to the flood of long-time / staff players leaving in the past couple of months? My response is as simple as this. People leave the server all the time. It's to be expected. Think about it. We've been open for 1.5 years now. That's a long time. And I'd be surprised if people didn't leave. People have things in their lives. People get bored. And as much as we try to do to make it so people don't get bored, I can understand why they would be. You always need a fresh start. You always want something new. And I can't blame anyone for that. But at the same time, it's to be expected. And I think that what we need to recognize is that it's normal. It is. And what's not normal is when we let it, we start to believe that it's more than just a normality. When we start to believe that it's coincidence, and that it's not coincidence, and that it's simply a bunch of people leaving because they don't want to continue being a part of Project Mayhem for whatever reason. And that's not what it is. It's just people have things to do, responsibilities with their life, and people need to move on. And that's what happens. And along the way, while people move on, other people will join, and they'll be replaced. And as long, a lot of these people can't even be replaced, but you'll have people that are just as good members of the community as they were. So it's a circle, and it happens. So yeah, I think what's important for all of us right now, though, is to recognize that the server is not in a bad position. That it may look like our player counts have been decreasing, but we had double everything this weekend, and I don't know if you saw it, but our player count hit like 220 players today. That's something that I think a lot of players would have denied the possibility of happening on its own. There was no advertisement. There was just double everything. We have the players, we have the way to, once we have a way to advertise it, we have a great server, right? There's nothing to be worried about at all. So hopefully I don't look worried. I don't think the staff are very worried either. We have a lot of great things planned in the future. Jackson and I have had a really good week, and I think that the staff members after our meeting today have a lot to look forward to as well. We have a lot of new things coming and a lot of big changes, and I'm excited to have you guys see them as we make them. Oh, my phone just locked. Okay. What do you guys look for in new junior mod candidates? This is a good question. Oh, that was from Turtle Guy, by the way. And the other one was from Whack Attack. I don't know if I said that. But yeah, what do I look for in new junior mod candidates? Okay, so give me 1 minute. Sorry, I need a little break after doing a lot of answering questions. Okay, so in junior mod applications, we look for a few things. The biggest of which is probably maturity, right? Then we also like to look for activity. We like to look for how people are viewed in the community. They have to you could be a really nice person and everything, but you could be known by nobody, and that's not good. So you need to be well known. You need to be liked. You need to be friendly with everyone. maturity is probably the biggest thing. Along with it comes honesty, responsibility. A lot of really important features that we like to see in staff members. Being on TeamSpeak is really important. It's a good way to interact with us on a daily basis. Let us get to know you better. If you want to join TeamSpeak, ts.pm-mc.com. And yeah, overall, just be the best member of Project Mayhem you feel you can be. Be the best version of yourself. And yeah, I mean, our staff selection process is ridiculously selective. And more or less, over the time we've done it, it's like we pretty much know going into it who we're going to promote as we go through our process, which basically consists of asking each staff member to say their top few choices, getting their reasons why, and then evaluating it based off of the general consensus. And then, yeah, so most of the time, it's pretty much mostly unanimous, and there's a good reason for it. So you be a good member of the community, and as a result, and mature, and you prove that you deserve the position, and as a result, you get it. So hopefully that answers it. Sorry if I wasn't as helpful as you were looking for. And also, do you have current candidates that could be possible junior mod? Yes, we do. We will not name names. And congratulations on your 400th comment. Okay, so let's see. We have a bunch of off-topic things. Pear asks, when will I answer the questions? Now. Cool. Next question comes from I'm Shane. He asked, one sec, what did he ask? He asked, how deep is your love? And the answer to that question is, how deep is your love? Is it like the ocean? No, okay. What devotion are you? How deep is your love? Okay, I'm done. Is it like Nirvana? No, okay. I'm actually done. Hit me harder again. How deep is your love? Oh my god, I'm done now. I promise. Actually done. Alright. Sorry, I had to pull up the lyrics for that one because I didn't know it. So now, okay, back. Alright, from Commander Box, do you think there will ever be more non-donor unlockable infected classes? I want a Magma Cube class so badly, if you catch my drift. Yes? I couldn't tell you when, and I couldn't tell you what it is. But maybe one day you'll get your Magma Cube. I don't know, but there will be more. Yes. When does Moles come back? Good question, X-Ray Godzilla. And the answer is, I don't know. Never. It's also possible we'll have Mega Moles next April. Crazy Moles. Yeah. Let's see. Lots of more off-topic stuff. I answered that one. I don't know what that one is. Rod said, is Tim actually going to be a standalone server? I would like that. I'd like that too. But it has to become somewhat popular first. I think it's a good game mode. I think that a lot of the games we have on our server are really good. I don't think that most of them can be standalones, but as a faction server, probably. We don't plan on it, but if it turns out that it becomes popular after we decide to advertise it, then yes. I think that the most important thing I want to point out here is that Project Mayhem still has all of its assets. We own all of our plugins, and we have unique content that separates us from literally anybody else. That is something that, with the right advertising, will become popular, without a doubt. So, right now, our player counts may be statistically lower than they've been previously, although at the same time, remember, we peaked over the summer, and that's to be expected. People don't have school. Then over the school year, it's just constant, steady sort of stuff happening. We put out a new game mode. It's exciting, right? But until we have proper, really good, steady advertising, we're not going to have crazy upshoots, and that's to be expected. So nothing bad's happening, but remember, the things that we have on the server currently are the things that we've always had, and with every day that goes by, we have more and more awesome, better things. So yeah. Also, sorry that this is so long. I believe we're done soon, so it'll be less than 40 minutes in total. But yeah. Also, how are you going to advertise the server? Like specifically, will you hire more YouTubers or have advertisements? Whatever works best. Ewald asked, why do you hate peaches? Alright, there's actually a good story for this one. Alright, so I went to the dentist as a kid, obviously. I mean, I feel like all of us did. There was always this at the end of the time, at the end of like the thing that the dentist did, he gave us like fluoride, right? Like a fluoride rinse, and it was peach flavored. And he would like make me like, you know, swish it through my mouth a lot, and it would be just disgusting, like the worst thing I possibly could taste, and I hated it. And he would just count down like backwards from 10, but instead of counting like a normal human being, he'd like recount his numbers, so I had to like deal with this for even more time. By the end of it, like I swear, like I would puke, and it would just be so gross. It would be like the worst traumatizing experience of my life. And like I'd try not to swallow it, but I couldn't help it. Please don't even make me think about this. Oh, that's so bad. But yeah, no, peach, and ever since then I've just hated peaches. Like I can't. So yeah, honestly, fuck you, dentist. Dr. Hyde ruined it for me. Peaches, no, bye. Done with that. No, peaches, no. Let's see. Call of Josh asks. Call of Josh asks. Does he ask anything? I thought he asked something before. Am I skipping it? And I think this is the last question once I see it, if I do see it. No, did it go away? I don't know. Oh, my question is, how long do you think this server will last? Honestly, I mean, let's be real. The player count has dropped immensely in the last few months. As I said before, I think the server will last literally as long as possible, which to me, I have no actual time frame reference, but a long time. There's no reason why it shouldn't. There's no reason why it will not continue to do well. There's no reason why any of that will take place. I think the staff members are very, very into it. I think that they're looking forward to a lot of things we have coming in the future. I think that I'm really looking forward to it, as always. I think Jackson is very into it. And as long as that continues, the server's going to do well. And because, you know, if we're into it, then I'd expect you guys are. And hopefully you are. And if not, then hopefully once you start to see the things that are changing around here and you like them, you'll be into it. So, yeah. So overall, I'd say that this Q&A was probably pretty successful. Let me know if you guys like it. I'm happy to do these often. I do recognize I haven't been doing the weekly updates very often. They're not very weekly. Either I'm going to change that into being like a non-weekly update, or maybe I'll do a video, because I don't like typing. Like I love typing. I just don't like writing things. It's like I'm in class and I'm writing an essay, and I already have way too many essays to write anyways, and way too much stuff essay-wise, writing-wise, so yeah, that's kind of like work. This is kind of like fun. So I'd rather do that. Maybe I'll give a weekly update that way. Make it like a short, like 2 to 5 minute video instead. Or maybe I'll just do it frequently, whenever I want. But we'll see what happens. Aside from like the weekly updates and stuff, I am sorry for not being as good with that as possible. I do plan on improving that, and I do really care about being consistent, being transparent with you guys. It's cool. You guys are cool, and the server's cool. Things are going well. So, yeah. Hopefully you're as happy and excited as I am. In the case that you're not, talk to me. Happy to talk to you about it. Lots of cool things coming. Lots to be excited for. Yeah. And if you guys like this, let me know. Do more in them in the future. No problem with that. I would like to, so just let me know. Alright. That's it. Signing off. Max Ben out. Bye.